Hi, thanks for joining me today. We're looking at number 69 in Pottag's Preparatory Melodies to Solo Work. Some of you have been following along with this series, and I've been doing a fair number of them lately, whenever these come to broadcast. And to be honest with you, I don't particularly like this one. I've talked about that before. It's pretty straightforward, and it's kind of trumpety. That's fine, so I'm going to see what I can do with it. See if I can bring this alive for you a little bit here. It simply says Allegro moderato, and it's a very simple trumpet styles, as you'll hear. Okay, well, I took the DC, but then I said, nah, that's not very good. I think I need to practice it a little bit. My main problem was hitting the piano marking, dropping into the low register. So I played my trumpet stuff. Oh, now I know why I had a problem. I don't really know it well enough yet. My fingers are a little sloppy. I tried to play it a little bit too fast. That's typically my problem. But so now I'm going to slow it down and just get the finger pattern. Well, it still feels a little bit unfamiliar, a little bit awkward. Ah, it's syncopated. Da di da di da di. Da di da di da di 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 da. Da da di da 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 di da 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 da. So I need to spend time with the time. Now you notice I'm smacking those valves. And the notes are very staccato here. So that fits the fingering perfectly. Ooh, still off. And it's starting to get clearer. Now, a lot of times I'm trying too hard, and I notice this in almost every trumpet player that I work with. Trumpet is the kind of an instrument that almost invites you, you might even say forces you, to try too hard. We end up fighting a little bit and just exerting ourselves physically and mentally too much. Now, sometimes that's okay because it's easier to feel what you're doing when you're exerting yourself physically. And sometimes what we do on the trumpet is so subtle that we can't feel it. That can be very disconcerting. It can play with your mind a little bit. But here, it's pretty easy to feel. The fingerings are clear. It's staccato. The only problem is it's soft. So there's so many things going on here, and I kind of will tend to get lost in the details of this. But actually, all I have to do is learn that pattern and get comfortable with it. So one thing I do is I try hard like I just did. Then I rest for a while, and then I go back to it. Now that worked. That was interesting. That worked. It worked twice in a row. Good. I wonder if I can do it again. I change the speed. That changes the target a little bit, maybe a little bit faster. Well, that felt better. That felt easier. So I always recommend to work from what's easier. When you're doing something and it starts to flow, and you start to feel like, oh, I've got this, and you don't have to slow it down as much, and you don't have to be so careful and take as much time with it. And take it apart and work on all the details. It's just kind of happening by itself. Enjoy that. And then it's kind of like one of my colleagues, Jester Schmitz, who played tuba for many years in the BSO, said it's kind of like you take butter and you put it on the bread and then you just kind of spread it around. So you have something that's really good, really tasty and good, and what you're trying to do is spread it over the whole range, the pitch range, the dynamic range, the range of tempo, and the range of articulation. And if you just think about that, that's all you're really trying to do. Most people's mistake is they try and do that all at once. All right, I'm going to make another little variation here, since that was my problem area. So now I'm really not playing it comfortably physically, but I played the notes and I played them in time. So, take some satisfaction in that. Now I'm going to work the sound. Oh, now that I'm in the center of the sound, I know that I'm going to get a more immediate, a more crisp, a more satisfying, a more musically effective articulation, because I'm not a little bit off the note. And so finding that sound first when I'm articulating is a huge thing. I'm going to go back to the fingers, and I've showed you this before, but I was practicing it. And this is what Claude Gordon recommended. I think it was recommended to him by Herbert Clark. And many people, you hear Doc Severinsen says it, bang down the valves. There's nothing wrong with that, except that it tends to create kind of tension in your hand. and that's not what you want. So as soon as you feel your hand going da, da, dee, da, and getting kind of rigid and trying too hard, I'll tell you a little secret. The way our body is wired, that tension goes into the rest of your body. And you're going to have difficulty keeping the chop supple and the airflow nice and relaxed when your hands are rigid like that and your tongue is correspondingly rigid because you're kind of squeezing the air with the tongue. So you have to relax a little bit. So I practice it like this. Then I try and do it without the sound at all. I was doing. That's a great way to practice because your ear is very free. And you're always relaxed and take an easy, comfortable, conversational breath in between. All these things are things that you want to cultivate. Then you try and put them back together again. If you're like me, you might be stumbling a little bit. That's okay, as long as you're improving. Now, if you start stumbling a lot and you're falling down more than you're standing up and walking, then you have to go back and make those corrections. And I know that most of you are avid players, or you wouldn't be watching this video. So I'm telling you things you already know. But what I've noticed is that I and everybody else I've worked with tends to not do what they know works. They just keep pounding away and trying harder. That's it. No, step back, have a little humility, realize this is going to take some time, enjoy the process, and especially enjoy the quality of what it is that you're producing. So since I don't like this one particularly much, which is neither here nor there, I'm not going to play it again for you. But I hope that you will get something out of this and be able to apply it to your own practice, whatever you're working on right now. Have a great day. I'll see you later on. Bye-bye.